Carol here. A warm welcome to my craft room. And looky, my tonic mat came. And we're going to use the Fly Free Art Journal stamps by Andrea Gamal. I can't wait. Look at them right here. And I have a video to show you how I take the glare out of that mat because I have so many cameras and you can see they do not shine and bounce off the glass. And I'll share that with you, how I came across that and what I did to prevent it. But right now, it's this wonderful, wonderful journaling page. I had so much fun and relaxation galore just using this stamp set. And look at this stamp. It's it's 5.5 inches across by 8.25 inches in length. And I had an art journal that I had tucked away, but it was for my sketches. I love to do sketching when I'm here and there. I like to take a pencil and sketch. So the pages are very thin and they aren't going to take to watercolor. The same with this one. Now this is for watercoloring, but the size was not good. There's a comparison. I don't have enough space to put as much of this image in, and I didn't want to waste any of it. And you also have the coil issue, right? So I put that away. I haven't even put a thing in there, can you believe it? But it was on sale and I picked it up and one of the box stores. And just put it, I put it in file to use it at another time. Wonderful journal. I really like it. I've had it for a while. It's thick, super thick watercolor pages. It's like having cardboard actually, and it takes to any kind of mixed media you want to throw at it. It's my practice mixed media book, and I like it. And I need to get doing some more journaling because I really do like journaling. Every aspect of it. Right here, if it's just, painting or using pencil and drawing like that last page I showed you, whatever it is, this is a wonderful way for creators to relax. Now, I needed to thicken up my pages in this book. So what you do, you take some double-sided tape. I just ended that roll. You're going to do this one page. The one that's underneath the page you're going to use, obviously. And I have to tell you this. My grandson came in and I wasn't thinking. I stopped talking. And I had half of this already, the voiceover already completed. And I looked up and my camera wasn't in the camcorder. And can you believe this? I said to him, "Oh, I can't do this voiceover. My camera's not hooked up." Yes, I know. La, 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 la. It's not snowing either. Yes, this is kind of how I felt, out of place. And I erased all my voiceover because my camera wasn't on its tripod. Oh, my shattered nerves. What a day. That will just tell you. I've had this ready to do the voiceover since I did this. It only took a couple hours to do this page yesterday, so it was a lot of fun. Now on the next page, I want to jump right in there now that my brains are halfway back in their position. I thought I would put white glue. The next one is white glue. Then I'm going to apply whatever paper I'm going to use, and this is out of the Farmer's Almanac for 2012. I saw these beautiful daisies with the poppy in the middle. It looks like a poppy or a pansy. And this is one of the best glues that is inexpensive. The Claudia Hellmuth Studio Multi-Matte. It's the multimedia matte. It's so inexpensive. You get tons of it and it glues down in matte so that it has no shine. I love that. I love the inexpensive part. Because with everything else we get, right, we need inexpensive. And here I saw this Eskimo sitting out and doing some fishing on the lake. He has this pet seal beside him, a fish that he just drew out of the lake. And yeah, I thought this is beautiful. I love that the sun set or sunrise, whichever. Isn't this gorgeous? And there's nothing like going out on the lake, cutting yourself a hole, putting your line down in and catching fish. I love it. In the cold, in the winter, in the summer. Fishing is good, right? The one thing I want to show you, look at that, my Create a Station. Love this thing. Oh yeah, I'm using it. Now that I have it in my mind that I can use it, I get it down for bigger projects. So I need to have stability underneath these 2 pages just because of the amount of water I'm going to put on there, and paste. Not so much the liquid, but the paste. So I'm taking these pages, they're cardboard. I buy them 40 pages at a time. Like, they come in a pack and they're for mailing. They're mailing pages when you want to put a piece of cardboard on each side of your card. You get these at a stationery store. And I was just at the stationery store. I can't wait to show you what I saw there and picked up for organization. Yes, can't have enough of it, can we? So here we go. There's the 2 pages. You're going to lay this out. Then I'm going to grab in my garbage. I threw that little piece out. I'm sorry, I'm just getting settled in. I usually stand when I do mixed media. But for some reason for this, I am sitting. Probably because I was exhausted from standing. Yeah, so here we go. I'm just going over it with that waxy page from off the back of my Create a Station. Everything comes in handy, and I'm taking out some of that wrinkles, some of the wrinkles. Wouldn't it be nice if we could take our wrinkles out that easy? I am slapping cardboard all over my face. But anywho, yeah, here we go. I've got that wonderful ice fishing Eskimo up there with his pet seal just sitting there. These beautiful black and white flowers. If you see any almanacs at your thrift store, that's where I get them. The paper in there is just like newsprint. Perfect size for doing mixed media. I use a lot of it. And yeah, a lot of this Farmer's Almanac. I don't buy a ton of them until I use up one. I went to the dollar store to get some wax paper when we were... we had just, I think it was the last deer we hunted down at, I think it was a deer, and I needed wax paper to put the patties on for the hamburger, and I bought a lot of it. So I grabbed a couple of them and ran them up to my craft room so that I had that, wrinkle it up really well, and put the wax side down. Some wax paper has wax on both sides, and this could be one of those rolls. I can't tell just looking at it. But if it isn't, excuse me, right over my hands. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. I have a lot to go over in a short amount of time. I know you're saying, Carol, it's 43 minutes. I know, but it's a whole journaling page. And I like to yak, yak, yak. Yes. I get in trouble for that, though, don't I, sometimes on my comments for doing a lot of yakking. But that's okay. That's what I do. So here we go. I'm putting it over my piece here. It gives it that beautiful texture you always love on a mixed media piece. And I'm really excited. I'm going to be doing 2 layouts. Now, layouts and mixed media journaling are 2 different things. Even though one is for the layouts for more or less journaling. This is for mixed media, meaning a lot of mediums are going to get all mixed up and go on this page. So I take a stencil here and I'm going to use different angles. I wanted to have circles, triangles, and squares. Yes. And I saw that, you'll see when we get going why I used these particular shapes. So I will use the, oh yes, I didn't tell you, I'm using the Dreamweaver stencil paste. It's gorgeous. It's white and it's crackle embossing paste. The best crackle paste out there in my opinion. And you'll see what I'm talking about when this dries. Crackle Plus. You don't have to put any colors underneath and over top, you know, in the middle, all these instructions. No, you slap it on your stencil and when it dries, you have instant crackling. Yes. Okay. Isn't that funny? At the beginning, I want to take all the crackles and the ruffles and all the stuff out of the paper, and then I grab stuff to put into the paper. Yeah, oxymoron there. Is that the word, oxymoron? Yes, it is. Ooh, yeah, one of those days. Can you imagine when my grandson walked in and I looked up and saw no camera in my tripod and said, oh no, I have half of my voiceover done and I don't have my camera on. I tell you, that's one tired crafter. when you do that. And then after I deleted, he's standing there watching me, I deleted all the voice, and he said, Nanny, why do you need your camera to do a voiceover? You have your mic right there. Oh, I never laughed so hard. I thought it was hysterical. I said, see what happens when you're almost 64? Oh, yeah. This is what you have to look forward to, I told them. So now here comes the circles. This is the thing about journaling I love. I absolutely love it. Not only am I going to get the crackled edges, I've got the crackle with the wax paper. I have the crackle with the crackling medium. I have the wrong paper, but yet I added stability with the glue, the tape, and the cardboard. This is a dream journal page for me. You know, you get caught up in painting or making cards or whatever. You need to take out. Don't let journaling, don't fear this. Really, don't. There's nothing to fear. I'm taking out another stencil and putting it sideways so that I have some jaggedy edges, but I still have those geometrical edges on the spread. That's really nice. I have a nice size real estate. I think it is 9 by 12 that I'm working with. And yeah, look at that. This is the wonder of what we can do with our time, right? It's beautiful and it's relaxing, and you know, you can eat at the same time. Yes, I can bring a sandwich up. I can bring some sardines. Ugh, can't even imagine that. But anyway, another medium I'm going to use is the paper. And I chose to do this with my LDRS Creative watermark here, you know, the clear ink. I'm going to put it on, and we're going to use, this is a very light yellow. Yellow vellum that I buy at my stationery store. I know you get sick of hearing it. This stationery store has everything. And the colors I can get, you name the colors, I can get it. And I love the pastel colors. So this is a very light to white vellum. Now I'm going to put a lot of that LDRS Creative watermark on it. That's, you know, we use Versamark all the time, but if you want a juicy, and I'm talking juicy ink for putting the clear ink down, LDRS Creative watermark is tops. You have to try it. And then I took out some of my embossing powder. Let me get the name of it here. It's made by Wow, and it's called Vintage Peacock. Yes, anything vintage, you know I love it. Then I put it on, and because it's a 40-pound, at least a 40-pound paper, I always get the papers mixed up when I say vellum and the clear acetate. The two of them, for some, it just crosses in my mind. So I grabbed a piece of 12 by 12 paper to grab all of the embossing powder so I can scoop it back into the jar. Then I'm going to put the peacock. I thought it was a lovely color for putting down on my page. Now I chose some Tim Holtz stain, the spray stain, opposed to anything else. It's the stain because it will take to the wax paper and to the natural paper very well, and to this paper as well that I have, that I'm heat setting here. And vellum, if I say it 10 times, I guess I would remember vellum. And isn't this image adorable? And you guess what I'm using to color it? Oh yeah, when you reverse this and you use your Copics, oh my, it comes to life when you put it down with your medium, you know, your multi-medium glue, and in the matte color, it's beautiful. So I cut it out just to the outside edge. Look at, I mean, this is going on a journal page, so you don't have to be, look at, you can see, I'm just going around the image. I'm just kind of guessing at how much I want to take off, and then we're going to Copic color. And you'll notice, first of all, I put it, I can hear the noise of, I think it was a bike going up our country road here. So you're going to notice here when you have it on white paper, so you emboss your vellum. Then once you put the embossing powder and you heat set it, turn it upside down and color on the opposite side. See how this is the opposite side? And you can use as many colors as you want because you're really not going to get that vibrancy look, the vibrant look to it, by putting a whole lot of Copic markers down. It's just not going to show up because I have colored elements on my journaling paper, right? Just make sure you use dark colors because it shows up half as dark. Like it'll tone down half of what you see there. Look, see how bright it looks? It's not going to look that bright on your page once you turn it over. So I know I have to go really dark. So I'm thinking, okay, Carol, how dark are you going to have to go? Well, you're going to have to go darker than this, let me tell you. That would not show up at all. But it sure would pick up the colors underneath with whatever you put down on your actual journaling page. It would look beautiful. But I was going for a dark look, and that's what I think I get right there. Then I'm going to do the hair black. So you know I'm going to put gray, purples, and black down. Make sure you get those purples in there because you want the sky of that Eskimo. It was purples and blues. Well, I want the hair to have purples and blues. You will see those hues in it. And look at this stamp. You get 7 of them. You get the feathers. You get a couple of sentiments. And Andrea did a beautiful job illustrating these. And as soon as I saw this illustration, I thought of those feathers, those gold and leather feathers I bought on my last haul when I was in Niagara-on-the-Lake in that shop. And I wanted to incorporate that. So you've got the little girl with the feathers, you have the other feathers. It's really going to look nice. So I went around and chose the colors, went with a deep brown because when I use my stains, they're not pastel, they're towards the dark color. So this is going to fit in perfectly, yes. Then put down the marks that you want to show the hair underneath. And I end with the dark black because this will look gray. If you put black down and you're putting it on vellum and then you're putting the vellum on wax paper, half of it's wax paper and half isn't. So it's going to cut this image with 2 different looks. And you know what that'll give you? Your shading. Oh yes, your shading. Look at that. Look at that beautiful vintage teal, sparkly embossing powder. I just love it. So I go back in with the 110 Copic. I give it the lines that I want to show up on the other side. And the beauty of mixed media is you don't have to be picky. And look at, you have your shading, you have your brights where the sun kisses it. Beauteous. Here's the stains going right over. Yeah, take the image out, Carol. You're doing it right on top of the, there we go. Yeah, I love those little things there. I took some baby wipes and I tapped it off because me and my cuz, oh, yes, it's because, boy, I can get lazy with my speech though. I know that. And here you have the mossy green, and then you're going to add the teal with the stains, and quick and easy. And I forget about my stains and my paints, you know, the Tim Holtz paints and all the goodness that we bought when it was the thing to buy. Here's brown. This is where I'm going to deepen it up on the right because I know my image is going over where the wax paper is happy, happy. See that? I don't know if you can see where the wax paper ends. And look at how it bubbles up. But it does stay there. Yes. Just give it enough time to seep in. I love the sharp edges of the triangles, the zigzags, and then the beautiful circles. And my flowers have the circles. That's why I went with a circle stencil. And yeah, there's no method to journaling madness. There really isn't. Whatever you have hanging out. And because this is a book, this is different than doing a canvas where I can put 3D elements on it. this is going to shut. And when it's dry, I always put tissue paper. I'm cleaning my hands and I thought, oh, why don't I just slap that water down on the page and give me some watermarks? Yes, I did that. And here comes the pink paint, the Tim Holtz paint. I'm grabbing that Tim Holtz flicker thing to get my spots, and I'm just flicking it, but I'm very careful here because, you know, I have stuff in the background I don't want to have painted. So I was, you know, very mindful of that while I was flicking that thing. Yes, that's it. I call it my dot flicker. I don't know what the original, my dot sweeper you could call it. It looks like one of those old-fashioned brooms in the Western days. Whew. Anyway, I added red. You have to add red, right? I don't know. I'm going to have red lipstick on our little girl there, so I thought I would accent it. It's kind of like a real cherry red, and it helps with that sky where our Eskimo is. And we can bring out all of the elements with a black marker, with our black Copic-friendly marker, and our white pen. Oh yeah, we'll do that soon enough. It's almost over. Can you believe it? Like, we're getting to the end of this page. Well, at least halfway, I think, right now. I'm going to get the Helmuth, what's her name there? Claudine Helmuth, the multimedia matte glue, and I'm going to add it. The beauty of this, remember, it's matte. And you can use your Mod Podge in matte as well. That's a beautiful thing. Except for I left the lid off mine, and yeah, you can only imagine. It was so hard on the top, but I dug that off and I did manage to save some underneath. So that was good. But I decided I have lots of these jars because they went on sale, and I picked some up, so I thought, yeah, I'm going to do some matte medium. Get your hands in there. Yes, this is the beauty of it. Oh. And I'm taking out some of the bumps and lumps, but some I'm keeping in. I'm trying to see that pink, the pink with the red up there on the right corner. It's kind of like a cherry red. So pretty. And I'm wiping up my mat, and there you have it. Look at the girl. You have the dark shading because of the paper on the right side of her face, dripping down. Journaling and oozing are two wonderful words to use. You want all those drips to ooze down your page. You want to add as much texture and as much medium as you can think of that's around your page. And I'm going to show you something I do later. I have a bag of wooden. They're just wooden objects to use for backgrounds if it's woodsy. Yeah, isn't that hysterical? Doesn't sound like it's something you would set aside. But yeah, look at that. You want to clean that out. That's what I went and did. Well, you know, I was waiting for this to dry. Can you see the circles there? And then if you heat it, even more crackles. We've got crackle wax paper crackling on the paper alone because it's thinner paper. Look at that. And the waves in it from being thin. I think it's wonderful. And here's my leather feather. Each leather feather. One side has gold and the other side is leather. Yeah. I back up again. Sitting up, you can tell I went somewhere to clean up. It was to clean up that brush. And now I'm back. I'm going to cut it off. And once this dries, that's what I was telling you, I put wax paper in between the pages. So I'll set a piece of wax paper, then I'll move on so that in case anything wasn't dry, the wax paper will absorb it. There's the red cherry lips, the green eyes. I put green and brown in there. Here comes the brown. I knew I did. And it's starting to come together with all its shapes. That's what I do. Like if you put down the flowers to the left-hand corner, my focal point obviously is the beautiful image that Andrea designed. And that is with Creative Creations, with LDRS Creative. Everything will be on my blog as usual. And sales going on there, let me tell you, your jaw's going to drop at the sales at the LDRS Creative store. It's wonderful. and the new release coming out, oh, you're going to love it. I can't wait to start creating with that. So for now, I took my hot glue gun. I'm putting 3 feathers up there with my geometrical. There's my little baggie. Yes, I have hearts. I have wood stumps. Everything that's a little woody. Yes. And this had dimension. I had to take it off. I put this flower on there, squishing it down as much as possible. But when I realized the lid was going to come down on this, I took it out and I put a wooden flat heart there. And then you're just going to grab some wooden images. I put the pink and red, so I did a, you know how that wood will absorb your Copics. So I did red on that one, and then I'll put out, can you believe it, I actually had some wooden triangles. I had the stencil of triangles and wooden triangles. I just love it. Yes, that's why I'm mentioning the hearts there. Whatever you can get in, and there's another style of a triangle. The reason why I put that different one there, I want to tell you this, because your eye will go up there and you'll notice the fish that's twisted around because your eye will be drawn to that triangle, and you'll notice the seal on the corner. But then I'm going to put black on there. I'm going to outline everything, so you will see that later on. And now I wanted that bird to not stand out. I wanted the actual seal to stand out. So I made it match the sky and the purple. Now I'm going back in and I'm taking my white pen and going over my leaves. I'll do the leather side, just the leather side, not the gold. I'll go around any of the edges. I put some white dots in her eyes, so her eyes would just pow on this page. I put an arrow so you could see the beautiful Eskimo there doing some ice fishing. And look it, can you see these stamps? It's going to blow you away. Look how thick they are. And look at, beautiful, beautiful. Light as a feather. You don't have to have anything to hold it down but your hand. It's that thick. Now I put the mark, the watermark, ink down to make my feather, and this is another sparkle black embossing powder, the Wow. I'm just taking out a few strands of the hot glue gun that were in there. And in the background you can see all the crackle of the wax paper. Look at the crackle paste that I put over top of those triangle when we did the stenciling. You can't tell the stenciling almost from the wooden pieces, right? Except for the wooden pieces are larger. Then I'm going to heat set that, and that's another wow on the feathers. It's a whole wow factor. Oh, I love doing this page. I really did. It just takes your mind to another place in time. And don't worry you don't have the right paper. Just grab whatever paper you have and make it thicker with the elements you have. Remember the first one, there's the watermark by LDRS Creative. Now I'm going to put I'm going to use that watermark and put down these splotches. I had pink embossing recollection embossing paste, and that will be another wow pink factor when I heat set that. And I wanted to add some purple to the bottom to match the purple in the sky. Isn't that, it just looks like a stain, a beautiful stain. Yes, and then that flicking of the pink paint, and then that pink embossing powder being lighter. Oh, I tell you, I love it. Get some paper and just go crazy. And here I have the wonderful lined image for the outside edges. Oh, Andrea, what a good job. And a baby wipe will clean these wonderfully. Yeah, look at this. I didn't use any powder. You don't even care about whether you get dots on it to use any of your powder, you know, that you would use for sentiments. You don't care. You want all those dots on a journaling page. It just adds to the ambiance of your mixed media piece. Isn't she beautiful? Oh, I love looking at this page with the flowers and the Eskimo ice fishing and the geometrical shapes. the crackle paste with the wax paper all crinkled up in there to give you some, oh yeah. And now I have literally, this is the last of my Nouveau glaze. Yes, I was pressed, I had it upside down overnight to try and get every drop. And here's where I'm going to get another medium, and that's going to be my beads, my little seed beads. I collect them. I love them. I have them in every color. You'll see that when I get my container out. Seed beads and mixed media, they're related. Yes, they are. They're sister and brother related, very close. I can't have a mixed media piece without having seed beads on it for sure. Yeah, another motorcycle went down our road. Sorry if you heard that. I have a pretty good mic. It probably picked it up. So now on my Nouveau glaze, the seed bead colors come out to match everything. So I will grab all of the colors I want to accentuate. That teal green was to match her dress. Then I'll go up and put some purple on the bird. I'm going to sprinkle it all over. Like I'm going to sprinkle it. I'll show you how I keep it on the page. I wanted seed beads to be everywhere sprinkled out on our page. So just let it go into the creaks and creases and crevices of your mixed media page without worrying about it, because we're going to spray glue everything down. And now I'm adding more glaze over top of the feather, her lipstick, her eyes, because I gave her some beautiful teal eyeshadow, of course. And now I'm starting to sprinkle it around. Oh yeah, making it thicker, because that's awesome. This is because we can do it. There it is, Carol. See the crackles? That's that crackling paste. Seed beads, but take your pokey tool. Make sure you keep the lines in that beautiful leaf. And yeah, this stamp, let me just tell you, Andrea Gumal's stamps for doing journaling are tops, because you're going to get the images crisp. All the images are very crisp. And I love the Create from Your Heart stamp sentiment in this set. And we're going to incorporate it in a spot that was perfect for that image. And I wanted you just to have a quick peek look at the, I put it there on the side, see, but I didn't want to take out the flowers, so we moved it. And there it is in all its glory. I'm just putting the pieces back in. It cleans up in a second. And look at beautiful. It, both front and back white down. And you have that beautiful, beautiful imagery. That's gorgeous. I love the word create. I love that brush lettering. And here we go. We're coming up. The wax paper. Oh, Carol, put it down. Your seed beads are coming down. Keep the seed beads. And there's the imagery of that beautiful feathered little girl. The seal, the Eskimo, the circles with all different cracks in it. I left that triangle free in its natural state in the wood. I thought that would be pretty. I love that I have 5 feathers, odd numbers. And here we go. I'm taking a box. I put paper towel on the bottom because we're going to use spray glue. Now I opened up 2 of my windows so that I could have the circulation in there. And this is the Elmer's spray glue. And this will hold and set my whole piece here. So then when it dries, and this is all you need, it will hold all those seed beads, and all of the cracked images aren't going to crack anymore. They're going to set with the Elmer's glue, with the spray glue, and I'm really excited about this page. Thank you so much to Andrea Gumal for her vision with making journaling stamps, and to LDRS Creative. I just love it. Yeah, I ripped that page up. I don't need it anymore. The cover will come down. Once it's dry, I put a piece of tissue or wax paper, excuse me. There you have it. Look at the seed beads. All the elements. And it only takes a couple of hours of your time. And it frees your imagination and your creativation. How's that? Imagination with your creativation. But with your creating, you're really going to enjoy these stamps. Now, the next thing I need to put create from your heart. I took a piece of clear vellum, and that's what I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to use gold embossing powder. Look at that beautiful set. It's beautiful. I tried to incorporate, I think I did everything but 2 sentiments, and there is another close-up of the media, the mediums that we use, the texture, just the imagery and the feathers and the triangles and those circles and the cracks, the crevices, the seed beads. Again, I love seed beads. And these, you get to use your embossing folders, like, not your embossing folders, sorry. I use those 2 again. You get to use your stencils. I get those 2 mixed up too. There it is, all finished. Create from your heart. Rip it out so you have those gorgeous edges, and then we're going to put it in a little space there with our multimedia glue in matte, whatever you choose, whatever you like. And please take a look over at the LDRS Creative Shop. Everything that I'm using will be on my blog, and I know you're going to find this the most relaxing pieces of a stamp set for journaling you've ever used. Right there is where we're putting it. Create from the heart in gold. You know, I have to put some gold on every piece I do. Every piece I will sneak gold in. And this one is no different. Create with the heart. Get out your multimedia mat. This is what I used. And get a foam brush. Works so much easier. Because when you have those bumps and lumps, the brush will just skim over it nicely. And then I'm using my new little mat, my tonic mat on the side. And you can see that my glass is not glaring. I'll show you what I found at my stationery store to take the glare out. And yeah, that'll be in my next tutorial. So there we are. I kind of squeezed it right under that triangle. And the seed beads are all glued down, so I don't have to worry about that. You may catch some of them on your brush, but just be careful you don't put it back into your container, right? So just have a paper towel. I had a baby wipe that I used to wipe it down, and because obviously it is going to pick up a few of those little beads, just a few, and hold it down. Yeah, look at all that. I'm using a lot of it, but I do take some of it off and move it to, there we go. Yeah, catch those seed beads. I'm trying to catch it. And then I'm working it down. You'll see I'll use my fingers. There's the baby wipe. And wipe it right off your multimedia mat. And we're just going to call it a journal page. And thank you for joining me. I sure had a lot of fun creating this for you. It's, and don't be afraid to, yeah, I'm putting some of it over to hold the seed beads down now that they're just about dry with the liquid spray glue. And I'm grabbing another baby wipe. And look at, I hardly got anything on my hands doing this journal page. Then once I put the wax paper on, when it's dry, I'll move on to using another journaling page with Andrea's sets. They're beautiful. And you know, there's just not, sometimes I think there's just not enough time in the day to do everything or to use everything that we collect. And I really want to use up a lot of the things that I have in my craft room, you know, like our punches and our scissors. You know, remember when we bought those Fiskar scissors that cut all those patterns out? I don't know, I think there was 15 of them that came, 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 I think came in this Fiskar's thing that lifted up. It looked so cool with all those colors. I kept it even though I don't use it that often, just for the color in my craft room. It's so nice. And I want to use things like that. You know, we buy it to use it, and I think we should just incorporate it into our, I'm wiping down my mat. And then I'm going to give you a close-up peek before I end. that Create from the Heart will dry almost flat. I don't even mind it with the waves in it. I mean, that's what we do. Now I have to go back to the white in her eyes to make them just pop. And I'll add white to the corners of my geometric images. I'll just go into the corners, yeah, right there, and bring those out. Go around, and whatever you want to pop, just add your white pen to it. And now that it's dry, it just stays there. I grabbed my paper towel and I'll wipe it in there in case it picks up a seed bead or two. And there you have it. So, so pretty and so much fun to learn how to use shapes all to your advantage, all the different mediums. Here's my black pen. I'll go around to the edges with that. Everything that I won't go around all the edges, just the corners, like just to make things pop. I'll do some of the feathers. I actually outlined the Eskimo and the seal and the fish. I went over it. And you can see that once it's dry, you can go over the wax paper and it turns out fine. As long as your black pen holds up, and it's a 0.5. I generally use the 0.5. And it's Copic friendly black marker. Yes, isn't this nice? Just go back, and here's where I know I'm coming to a close. I had a fun few hours in my craft room. I loved sharing Andrea Gamal's stamps with you. Please check them out. It's Creative Creations Designs, and it's over on LDRS Creative. It's called Fly Free Art Journal Stamps. Yes. And the other sentiment says Fly Free. So you have the Create from the Heart and then Fly Free. A huge thank you to Andrea Gamal for this wonderful design stamp set for journaling. I had a blast in my craft room creating this. I'm just going to finish up by going around and putting some little detail marks in there. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for going over to LDRS Creative and checking things out in the shop. You're going to see a bunch of wonderful sales over there. I'm talking big sales and beautiful dies and stamps and accessories like the wonderful watermark ink and embossing powders. Yes, here we go. There it is. Thank you for your comments, everybody. I do appreciate you. Have yourself a blessed week, and I will see you on the next tutorial. Take care, everybody.